This week we're going to look at types of audits adjacent to compliance that will enhance your compliance program. Today we begin by discussing a supply chain audit. The compliance tip of the day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. And now I'd like to say a few words about the latest podcast on the Compliance Podcast Network, AI Today in 5 with 5. Thrilled to announce the inaugural episode of my latest podcast series, AI Today in 5. I wanted to do a short, curated set of stories and news stories about AI for the compliance professional and the greater business professional. You can check it out on Megaphone, the Compliance Podcast Network, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple, or wherever great podcasts are listened to. Check out AI Today in 5. Today we begin a 5-part series on audits of issues and functions adjacent to the compliance space, and we begin today with supply chain audits. The first thing to recognize about supply chain audits is these are as common an audit as there is in the business world. You always have the right to audit a company that you are paying money to and for products and services. The focus of audits is not to review FCPA compliance, but it's designed to detect and report incidents of non-compliance. Obviously, that's an FCPA goal, but it sets the basic parameters of an audit. What is an audit? It's a systemic, independent, and documented process for obtaining audit evidence and evaluating it objectively to determine the extent the audit criteria are fulfilled. There are 3 factors which we believe contribute to a successful audit. Number 1, an effective audit program which specifies all necessary activities for the audit. 2, having competent auditors in place. And 3, an organization that is committed to being audited. More simply, the action steps for the process can be described as 1, capture the data, 2, analyze the data, and 3, report on the data. There's no specific list of transactions or other items that should be included in the supply chain audit. However, some of the best practices going forward can be suggested by the following. Review of contracts with vendors to confirm appropriate compliance terms and conditions. 2, determine that the actual due diligence took place on the third-party vendor. 3, review compliance programs, both the substance and program of the attendance records. 4, does a third-party vendor have a hotline or other reporting mechanism? 5, does the third-party vendor have a written employee discipline program and has it been used? 6, review expense reports for employees in high-risk positions or high-risk countries. 7, testing for gifts, travel, and entertainment for foreign government officials. 8, review the overall structure of the vendor's compliance program. 9, review a sample of employee commission payments and determine if they follow an internal policy. And 10, regarding petty cash in foreign locations, review a sample activity. This list is not extensive. For instance, there could be an audit focus on internal controls or segregation of duty. Any organization that audits a business partner in its supply chain should consult with legal financial audit to determine the full scope of the audit and a thorough and complete work plan that can be created based upon these professional inputs. A report should be issued. The report should detail the incidents of non-compliance with the compliance program and recommend potential remediation. So what are today's 3 key takeaways? Number 1, is your supply chain vendor committed to the audit process? 2, capture the data, analyze the data, report on the data. 3, supply chain audits are no longer cutting edge, but now simply a best practice in compliance. I hope you'll join me tomorrow where we continue our exploration of audits adjacent to compliance by looking at the culture audit. Things that I'm happy to do for you, the compliance profession, is if you have a question or a series of questions you would like some compliance tips on, I'm happy to take any requests that you might want, certainly anonymize them, and give you a quick tip, either one quick tip or maybe a week's worth of quick tips. So if you have any tips you want about your compliance program, you can shoot me an email at tfox@tfoxlaw.com. This podcast was created and produced